The sky over Earth darkened without warning. From the edge of the solar system, massive shapes emerged, blotting out stars and casting long shadows across the planet's surface. These were not mere ships, they were towering war vessels, gleaming with alien metals, bristling with weapons that hummed with energy far beyond human technology. Around the globe, people stopped and stared as the news spread like wildfire. The Galactic Coalition had arrived. The Coalition was a collection of powerful alien civilizations who had, for centuries, maintained control over much of known space. For them, humanity had been a curiosity, a young, unpredictable species at the edge of their reach. But recent decades had changed everything. Humans had exploded onto the galactic stage with rapid technological advances, bold exploration, and a stubborn refusal to bow to the old powers. Now, the Coalition sent their finest warriors as a message: submit or be crushed. At the United Nations, world leaders gathered urgently, the air thick with tension and anticipation. Military strategists worked tirelessly, analyzing data streams and satellite feeds, preparing for the inevitable. But amidst the panic, a different atmosphere stirred in the hearts of many humans, one not of fear, but of quiet confidence. Captain Maya Reyes, commander of one of Earth's elite defense units, stood on the observation deck of the orbital defense station. She watched the warships loom silently above. "They think they're sending us their best," she said, voice steady, "but they don't understand us." On the ground, everyday life shifted into high gear. Scientists raced to unlock the secrets of the alien vessel's energy signatures. Engineers and mechanics modified existing technology to prepare for any threat. Soldiers drilled in new tactics, ready to fight not just with firepower, but with cleverness and resilience. Across the world, humans shared stories of past struggles, of times when hope seemed lost, but humanity found a way to rise. It was a collective memory, a deep-rooted pride that no alien invasion could erase. Social media buzzed with the phrase that would soon become a rallying cry: "We are ready." Meanwhile, the alien warlords convened within their massive command ships, clad in armor of shimmering alloys and bioengineered materials. Their faces were unreadable masks of determination. Their leaders believed this challenge would be swift, a display of power that would force humanity into submission. But underestimating humans was their first mistake. The Coalition's champion warriors were deployed to Earth's surface in thunderous bursts of light and sound. Each warrior was a master of combat, bred and trained for destruction. They landed in the ruins of old cities, on the edges of forests, and in the heart of human strongholds. The world held its breath as these terrifying figures made their presence known. But something unexpected happened. Instead of panic, there was calm. Instead of fleeing, humans stood their ground, in small pockets of resistance, soldiers and civilians, alike prepared for battle, but not with desperation. With strategy, Lieutenant Aaron Patel, leading a squad near the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, watched through his helmet's HUD as the first alien warrior approached. His team had spent days setting traps and studying the aliens' movements. "Remember, it's not just strength," Aaron said to his squad. "It's brains, teamwork, and heart." As the alien warrior charged, confident in its power, it triggered a web of carefully laid ambushes. Automated turrets opened fire, drones swooped in to distract, and human fighters moved like shadows, striking with precision and vanishing before the enemy could react. The alien strikes landed mostly on empty air. A trapdoor suddenly dropped beneath it, and the warrior fell into a pit lined with energy nets. The first victory was swift and surprising. Across the battlefield, humans grinned not with arrogance, but with a fierce, unbreakable spirit. The Coalition's best warrior had been defeated not by overwhelming force, but by the ingenuity of those they underestimated. Back on the command ship, the alien commander studied the data with growing unease. These humans were different. They were unpredictable. They were dangerous. But it was too late to back down now. The challenge had been sent. The fight for Earth had begun. The alien warrior emerged from the shimmering portal, its towering form casting a long shadow over the forest clearing. It was a creature forged from centuries of war, a perfect blend of muscle, armor, and bioengineered enhancements. Its eyes glowed with cold calculation as it scanned the battlefield, expecting a swift victory against the primitive humans. But what it found was something it hadn't anticipated: silence, patience, and a calm resolve. Lieutenant Aaron Patel crouched behind a fallen tree, his breath steady, eyes sharp. His squad of 8 soldiers had been preparing for this moment for days. Every trap laid, every drone program, Every tactic rehearsed was about to be tested. The alien warrior was their target, a symbol of the coalition's might, and Aaron's team was determined to send it. Back empty-handed, the alien moved forward, each step shaking the earth beneath it. Its weapon a massive energy blade glowed with lethal intent. It was fast, but predictable. Its heavy footsteps echoed in the stillness, betraying its reliance on brute strength. As it advanced, the first trap was triggered from hidden turrets. Camouflaged in the trees, a hail of plasma bolts erupted, forcing the warrior to raise his blade in defense. But the soldiers didn't wait to fight head-on. They melted into the shadows. Using the dense forest for cover, Aaron's voice crackled softly in their earpieces. Distract and flank. Use the drones to blind its sensors. Wait for my signal. From above, a swarm of small, agile drones darted out, buzzing around the alien's head. Feeding false sensor data, the warrior swung wildly at the invisible threats. Its movements growing more erratic. Suddenly, a hidden panel on the ground activated. A net of electrified cables shot up, ensnaring the creature's legs. The alien roared in frustration. Struggling against the charge pulsing through its armor, Aaron's squad moved in quickly. Using compact energy rifles, they targeted the vulnerable. Joints in the alien's armor spots they had identified through careful study of its design. The warrior fought back fiercely, swinging its blade and stomping wildly. But it was trapped and vulnerable. In a coordinated strike, Aaron's team deployed a specially designed EMP grenade, temporarily disabling the alien's weapon systems. With its energy blade darkened, the warrior was forced to rely on sheer physical power, something the humans were ready for. The battle was intense, but short. Aaron and his squad worked seamlessly, using hit-and-run tactics and teamwork honed over countless drills. Finally, the alien's armor cracked and it collapsed to the ground, defeated. Aaron let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. His squad exchanged looks of disbelief and triumph. The first warrior had fallen, not through overwhelming force, but through sharp minds and well-executed strategy. News of the victory spread quickly across the globe. Screens lit up with reports and images of the battle. The alien coalition's message of intimidation had been met with human resolve, and it worked. Back on Earth, celebrations were muted but sincere. Soldiers shared quiet smiles, knowing this was only the beginning. Scientists analyzed every detail of the fallen warrior, eager to learn and adapt. Civilians watched with a mix of relief and cautious hope. The alien commanders, however, were less impressed. They saw this loss as a mere setback and anomaly that would be corrected with the next wave of champions. They sent new warriors, each more terrifying than the last, confident that humanity's luck would soon run out. But humanity had already begun to change the rules. Captain Maya Reyes gathered her team to review the battle data. They think strength alone will win this war, she said, but we know better. We'll keep adapting. Every defeat for them is a lesson for us. Her words echoed across the command centers, a rallying cry for every human soldier and citizen. The fight was no longer just about survival, it was about proving something greater. That the human spirit was a force unlike any other. As night fell on the battlefields, Aaron looked up at the stars, now dotted with alien ships. He felt a surge of pride, not just for his team, but for all humanity. They had faced the impossible and grinned in the face of danger. The war was just beginning, but the first victory belonged to Earth. The taste of victory was fresh, but the war was far from over. The alien coalition's commanders gathered in their cold, metallic halls, voices low but urgent. They had underestimated humans, not just their fighting spirit, but their uncanny ability to learn and change on the fly. That realization unsettled them more than any defeat. Back on Earth, Captain Maya Reyes paced through the command center, her eyes scanning data streams from battlefields around the globe. Every encounter with alien warriors brought new challenges, but also new insights. The humans were not just fighting with weapons. They were fighting with their minds. It wasn't brute force that was winning battles. It was adaptation. In the dense jungles of the Amazon, Lieutenant Aaron Patel led his squad through thick underbrush, eyes sharp for any sign of movement. Their victories had made them targets, and the coalition's next wave promised deadlier warriors, faster and more dangerous than before. But Aaron's team wasn't afraid. They had learned from every battle, turned every failure into an opportunity. Adjust your formations, Aaron instructed. Use the terrain. Make them fight on our terms. They moved silently, setting traps and scanning for alien signals. The jungle was a maze, and the humans used every inch to their advantage. Where the aliens relied on overwhelming strength and advanced tech, The humans turned the environment itself into a weapon. In the city ruins of New Tokyo, engineers worked feverishly in underground labs. Dr. Elena Voss, a brilliant cyberneticist, studied fragments of alien technology recovered from battlefields. Their systems are sophisticated, she said, eyes wide with excitement. But their reliance on certain frequencies makes them vulnerable. Elena's team quickly developed devices that could interfere with alien communications and sensors. Field units equipped with these new tools could blind enemy warriors or disrupt their weapons, turning the tide of battle. Meanwhile, in the deserts of the Sahara, a group of human fighters led by Sergeant Jamal Hassan faced a new kind of alien one, capable of cloaking itself and striking from the shadows. The humans responded with infrared scanners, motion detectors, and relentless teamwork. Stay close. Cover each other, Jamal ordered, voice steady despite the tension. They think they can hide, but they don't know how we see. One by one, the cloaked warriors were flushed out and defeated, their advantage nullified by human ingenuity. Every victory, every narrow escape, taught humanity something new. The alien commanders grew frustrated. Their champions, trained in centuries-old tactics, struggled to keep up with the unpredictable humans. They tried sending genetically enhanced fighters, cybernetic soldiers, and even AI-controlled warriors, but humans adapted faster. On a remote island in the Pacific, Captain Reyes convened with her top commanders. They pored over battle reports, satellite images, and intercepted communications. We can't fight them the way they expect, she said firmly. They want a straightforward war. We give them something else. Her plan was bold. Humans would not only defend, but strike back, using guerrilla tactics, sabotage, and electronic warfare. The goal was to break the alien will without getting caught in a predictable pattern. As part of this strategy, a small team of specialist hackers, engineers, and combat veterans was deployed to infiltrate a downed alien scout ship. Their mission: learn everything about the enemy's technology and weaknesses inside the sleek alien vessel. The team moved cautiously, every corridor hummed with unfamiliar energy. But their determination was stronger than fear. They hacked into the ship's systems, downloading data that would soon be weaponized against the Coalition. The human capacity to innovate was unmatched. Where alien warriors saw rigid orders and brute strength, humans saw possibility, improvisation, and resilience. In battle after battle, humans proved it again and again. They could change tactics mid-fight, adapt to new threats, and turn the environment, technology, and their own limitations into advantages. No alien champion could prepare for this level of unpredictability. Back in the alien command halls, tension was rising. The Coalition's leaders realized that to crush humanity, they needed more than muscle. They needed to rethink their entire strategy. But humans had already moved ahead. Captain Reyes stood on the observation deck of the orbital defense station, watching the planet below. The stars were no longer distant points of light, they were battlegrounds, and humanity was ready. She smiled quietly. They don't know what we're capable of yet, she said, but they will. The alien coalition refused to accept defeat. Each loss was a lesson, but also a challenge to send even more formidable warriors to Earth's battlefields. Faster, stronger, and armed with advanced technology. These new champions were designed to break human defenses and crush the growing spirit of resistance. The coalition was determined to prove that no matter how clever humanity was, they could be overwhelmed by sheer power. But humans had learned that power alone was never enough. On the icy plains of Siberia, a new kind of warrior landed, one clad in shimmering armor that reflected the frozen landscape like a mirror. It moved with astonishing speed, faster than anything Aaron Patel's squad had faced before. The warrior's weapon emitted pulses of energy that could slice through rock and steel alike. Aaron's squad had prepared for this encounter with help from Dr. Elena Voss's team, equipped with the latest interference devices designed to disrupt the alien sensors. As the warrior advanced, the humans launched coordinated strikes, using terrain and technology to offset the enemy's speed and power. Keep calm, Aaron ordered. Use the tech, watch its patterns. Despite the warriors' ferocity, the team worked in perfect sync, baiting and isolating it into traps where their weapons were most effective. The battle was intense and fast-paced, but the humans prevailed once more. The alien warrior fell into a volley of precise fire. Elsewhere, in the deserts of Australia, Sergeant Jamal Hassan's unit faced a different challenge: swarm tactics. The Coalition had deployed dozens of smaller, agile warriors that attacked in waves, overwhelming their targets with numbers and speed, while humans adapted quickly, developing mobile defense formations and area denial devices that forced the alien swarms to break apart. "Hold the line," Jamal shouted over the radio. "Don't let them surround us." The humans' discipline and innovation turned the tide. By the time the dust settled, the alien swarms were in retreat, their advantage neutralized by strategy and unyielding determination. Back in the command centers, Captain Maya Reyes coordinated a broader response. Intelligence suggested the Coalition was preparing to unleash their deadliest warrior, yet an enormous bioengineered titan, a creature designed to inspire fear and crush hope. "We can't fight that beast head-on," Maya told her commanders. "We'll need every advantage, technology, terrain, and teamwork." Human scientists and engineers raced to develop specialized weapons, capable of penetrating the Titan's thick armor. Combat units drilled relentlessly on coordinated tactics, practicing the timing and precision that would be necessary to bring the Titan down. At the same time, hackers and reconnaissance teams worked to intercept the Coalition's communications, uncovering battle plans and weaknesses. Information flowed freely among human forces, fueling their preparation. The alien coalition's escalation only strengthened human resolve, rather than falter. Humans pushed harder, innovating faster, and uniting their efforts across continents. In the shattered ruins of old metropolises, resistance fighters crafted makeshift weapons from scavenged parts in underground bunkers. Scientists toiled over new devices that combined human ingenuity with reverse-engineered alien tech. On distant battlefields, soldiers fought with grit and precision, embodying a spirit that refused to break. Across Earth, the message was clear: humans were no longer prey, they were predators. The Coalition's champions, no matter how powerful or fearsome, found themselves facing an enemy that refused to be predictable or broken. Humans struck swiftly, withdrew smartly, and adapted constantly. The alien leaders watched in frustration as their elite forces were defeated again and again. Every battle cost them resources and morale, while humans grew stronger and more confident. Captain Reyes received a transmission from Lieutenant Aaron Patel after another successful engagement. "They're sending their best," Aaron said over the comms, "but we're ready. We'll keep smiling." That simple phrase captured the heart of humanity's fight, a grin not of arrogance, but of unyielding spirit. As the alien Titan finally arrived on Earth's surface, massive and terrifying, humans did not recoil. They had prepared for this moment, ready to face the ultimate test. The escalation was far from over, but one thing was certain: humans had proven they were not easily broken. Their adaptability, unity, and determination had turned the tide. The war for Earth had entered a new, fiercer stage, but humans were ready, smiling, calculating, and unafraid. The battlefield had become a chessboard where every move counted. The alien coalition's champions were fierce, their numbers vast, but humanity's spirit was unyielding. After countless skirmishes, the tide of war was about to shift in a way that would shake the very foundations of the conflict. Lieutenant Aaron Patel stood at the head of a human strike team, gathered beneath the cold shadows of the Himalayas. Their mission was bold: strike deep into alien-controlled territory and cripple the enemy's central command hub, a massive installation hidden within a mountain fortress. It was the heart of the Coalition's operations on Earth, the nerve center coordinating warrior deployments, reinforcements, and communications. If humanity could take it down, it would disrupt the alien war effort and send a clear message: Earth would not be conquered. Aaron's squad was small, but elite, handpicked for their skills in stealth, combat, and electronic warfare. As they prepared to move, Captain Maya Reyes contacted them from orbit. "This is it," she said, voice calm but firm. "Success here could turn the tide for all of us. Stay sharp, adapt, and trust each other." The journey to the fortress was perilous. Mountain storms raged, and alien patrols scoured the valleys. The squad moved through snow and ice, using every bit of terrain to conceal their approach. Inside the fortress, alien warriors patrolled heavily fortified corridors and chambers. Their senses were heightened after recent defeats, and they anticipated human attacks, but not like this. Aaron's team bypassed security with a combination of hack systems and old-fashioned stealth. Their cyber expert, Lena, hacked alien sensors to create blind spots, while the others moved silently, disabling sentries before alarms could be raised. Reaching the core command room was the most dangerous part. There, the Coalition's commanders issued orders and monitored battlefields. If the humans could seize control, they could disable the entire alien war machine on Earth. As they breached the final doors, an alarm blared. The alien forces were alerted. Battle erupted in tight quarters, blaster fire echoed, and warriors clashed with humans in brutal hand-to-hand combat. Aaron and his squad fought with precision and resolve, each member covering the others with practiced skill. Lena hacked into the control consoles while the others held the line. Minutes felt like hours, but she finally triggered a system-wide shutdown. Alien communications went dark, defense systems faltered, and reinforcements scrambled to regroup. Outside, human forces sensed the shift immediately. Alien warriors hesitated without orders, their coordinated assaults breaking down across multiple battlefields. Humans pushed forward with renewed vigor. The alien commanders inside the fortress tried to recover control, but found their systems compromised. Panic rippled through their ranks. Aaron's team slipped away under the chaos, leaving behind a crippled fortress and a coalition struggling to reorganize. The victory was more than tactical, it was psychological. The coalition's champions, once confident and relentless, now faced uncertainty. Their carefully planned assaults were faltering. Humans were no longer just defenders. They were aggressors capable of striking at the enemy's heart. Back at the orbital command, Captain Maya Reyes received the news with a quiet smile. They sent their best to scare us, she said, but we broke their lines. News of the assault spread quickly among humans worldwide. The message was clear. Earth was fighting back, and the alien coalition's grip was loosening. Scientists and engineers seized the moment to accelerate development of new technology, using captured alien systems to create even more effective weapons and defenses. Soldiers trained harder, inspired by the successful strike deep behind enemy lines. In alien command centers, tension was palpable. Their warriors fought harder, but morale was slipping. The coalition had underestimated humans not just in battle, but in willpower and strategy. For Lieutenant Aaron Patel and his squad, the mission had been a defining moment. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious, proving that teamwork, courage, and adaptability were humanity's greatest weapons. As Aaron looked toward the horizon, where distant warships still loomed, he knew the fight was far from over, but the line had been broken, and the future was beginning to look a little brighter. The battle for Earth continued, but now humans held the advantage. The destruction of the alien command fortress sent shockwaves through the coalition's ranks. Their once unshakable confidence was rattled, but their determination remained fierce. If anything, the loss only hardened their resolve to crush humanity's rebellion before it grew any stronger. But humanity had tasted victory, and that taste was intoxicating. In the ruins of the shattered fortress, Lieutenant Aaron Patel's squad regrouped. They were battered but alive, their spirits burning brighter than ever. News from Earth's command centers filtered, and human forces across the globe were pushing forward, seizing back territory once lost to the invaders. Captain Maya Reyes stood before a digital map in the orbital defense station, watching the flickering lights that marked human advances. They think we're broken, she said quietly, but every blow we take only makes us stronger. Back on Earth, in the city of New Chicago, life struggled to return to normal amid the lingering scars of battle. Civilians worked alongside soldiers, rebuilding homes, restoring power, and repairing communication networks. The human spirit thrived in these moments of hope and renewal. Aaron, now temporarily stationed there, walked the streets with a renewed sense of purpose. His squad was assigned to training new recruits, sharing hard-earned lessons from the front lines. Young soldiers listened with wide eyes, eager to learn how humanity had turned the tide. Adapt, Aaron told them. Fight smart. We don't win by brute force alone, we win by thinking faster, moving faster, and never giving up. But the coalition was far from defeated. In their hidden command bases scattered across the solar system, alien leaders convened once more. Their losses were costly, but they possessed resources and technology that humans could only dream of. They would launch a new phase of the war, one that would test humanity's resolve like never before. Deep in the asteroid belt, the coalition prepared a fleet of warships armed with devastating new weapons, massive energy cannons capable of leveling cities, and fighters equipped with cloaking devices to strike unseen. The aliens planned to bring the fight beyond Earth, to hit humanity's space infrastructure and cut off their supply lines. Captain Maya Reyes received the warning just in time. We've been preparing for this. She told her commanders, "Our defenses are ready. But this battle will be different. It's not just about Earth anymore." As alien warships emerged from the darkness, humanity's space forces scrambled to meet them. The skies above Earth became a new battleground, one where strategy, technology, and courage would collide. Aaron volunteered to join the space fleet. The chance to fight beyond Earth's surface was both terrifying and exhilarating. For him and many others, the war had become a fight for the future of humanity itself. On board the flagship Liberty, Aaron trained alongside pilots, engineers, and soldiers from every nation. The atmosphere was tense but focused. Every crew member knew the stakes. Failure meant devastation for Earth. During long hours in the simulator, Aaron learned to pilot space fighters, dodge enemy fire, and coordinate with team members across vast distances. The skills were different from those on the ground, but the same principles applied: adapt, cooperate, never give up. The day of the first major space engagement arrived. The alien fleet moved with brutal efficiency, striking swiftly at communication satellites and mining colonies that supported Earth's war effort. But human forces responded with ingenuity, using their knowledge of the terrain, asteroid fields, debris clouds, and gravitational anomalies. They turned the environment against the enemy. Hit-and-run attacks, electronic jamming, and coordinated fighter squadrons threw the alien assault into chaos. In the thick of battle, Aaron's squadron faced down enemy cloaked fighters that appeared without warning. With quick reflexes and teamwork, they tracked the elusive enemies and forced them into open combat. The fight was fierce and costly. Ships were lost and lives sacrificed. But humanity's spirit refused to break. As the battle drew to a close, Captain Reyes sent a message to all forces: "We are not just surviving, we are rising. From the ashes of war, we will build a future worth fighting for." Aaron looked out from the cockpit, stars blazing around him. He thought of Earth, its battered cities, hopeful people, and the promise of peace. The war was far from over, but humanity had proven one undeniable truth: no matter the odds, they would rise. The war had stretched humanity to its limits. Cities lay in ruins, families were torn apart, and the skies above Earth were scarred by endless battle. Yet, amid the devastation, a new sense of hope was growing, a belief that victory was within reach. Lieutenant Aaron Patel had returned from the space battle, his hands still steady, but his mind racing. The fight beyond Earth's atmosphere had been brutal, but it proved something crucial: humanity could stand toe-to-toe with the Coalition, even among the stars. Back on Earth, the alien coalition was making a desperate gamble. Their massive warships, once symbols of invincibility, were retreating, but they were not defeated yet. Intelligence reports warned of a new weapon, one that could shift the balance of power: the Oblivion Cannon, a devastating energy weapon capable of wiping out entire regions in a single strike. Captain Reyes convened a crisis meeting. "If they fire that cannon, it could destroy everything we fought for," she said. "We have to find it and stop it before it's too late." The task fell to Aaron and an elite team of soldiers, engineers, and spies. Their mission was simple but deadly: infiltrate the Coalition's main shipyard, locate the Oblivion Cannon, and sabotage it. The operation required careful planning. The shipyard was heavily guarded, shielded by layers of defenses, and patrolled by the Coalition's deadliest warriors. Failure meant not only the loss of the mission, but the destruction of entire human strongholds. Aaron's team moved under cover of darkness, using stealth tech and hacked alien sensors to slip past patrols. Inside the massive shipyard, towering warships loomed like silent giants, their sleek surfaces gleaming under harsh lights. Every step was tense. The team navigated labyrinthine corridors, evading detection and disabling security systems. Along the way, they gathered intelligence schematics, power readings, and enemy movements. When they finally reached the chamber housing the Oblivion Cannon, they found it guarded by a towering bioengineered warrior, its armor pulsating with lethal energy. Aaron's squad prepared for battle, knowing this fight would decide the fate of millions. The warrior charged with terrifying speed and strength, swinging a massive energy mace that shattered walls and sent shockwaves through the chamber. Aaron's team dodged and countered, using every tactic they had learned. Lena, the cyber expert, worked frantically to hack the cannon's control systems while the others held the warrior at bay. The battle was intense, a blur of blaster fire, plasma bursts, and close-quarters combat. Just as the warrior landed a crushing blow on Aaron, nearly knocking him out, Lena's voice crackled through the comms. "I'm in." Systems shutting down. With a roar, The warrior charged one last time only to be caught in a trap. The cannon systems faltered, and the weapon powered down, sparks flying. The alien warrior faltered and then collapsed. Defeated, the team escaped the shipyard as alarms blared, but their mission was a success. The threat of the Oblivion cannon was neutralized, buying humanity precious time. Back at command, Captain Reyes addressed the global forces. "This is the turning point," she declared. "We have shown that no weapon, no warrior, can break our will. Now we push forward together, across Earth, from battered cities to remote outposts." Humans answered the call. New alliances formed, and resistance groups coordinated like never before. Aaron and his team were hailed as heroes, but they knew the war was far from over. The coalition would not surrender easily. As the sun set behind ruined skylines, Aaron looked to the horizon, where alien warships still hovered ominously. "We fight for our future," he said quietly, "and we will win." The air was thick with tension as the final battle loomed. Across Earth and beyond, every soldier, scientist, and citizen held their breath, knowing this fight would decide the fate of their world. The alien coalition, though battered and broken, had marshaled its remaining forces for one last desperate assault. Captain Maya Reyes stood on the bridge of the Liberty, the flagship of the human fleet. The stars beyond the viewport seemed to shimmer with promise and peril alike around her. Commanders coordinated the movements of Earth's combined forces, soldiers, pilots, and engineers united in a common cause. "Today, we fight not just for survival, but for the future of humanity," she announced. "Our enemies sent their best warriors to crush us. They thought they would break our spirit. Instead, we have only grown stronger. Let's show them what it means to face the human will." On the ground, Lieutenant Aaron Patel prepared with his squad for a critical assault on the coalition's main command station, now exposed after their earlier defeat. This installation controlled the alien fleet's remaining capabilities and held the key to their ultimate weapon systems. The operation was dangerous. The coalition's defenders were desperate and fierce, but humans were resolute. Each step forward was hard-won, but every victory carved away at the enemy's hold on Earth. In the skies above, human pilots engaged alien fighters in dogfights that twisted and turned through clouds and debris, the cacophony of engines, energy blasts, and warnings filled the air. Yet, amidst the chaos, a pattern emerged. The aliens were faltering. The turning point had come not through overwhelming power, but through unbreakable spirit and constant adaptation. Humanity's unpredictability was its greatest weapon. Deep inside the command station, Aaron's team encountered the last line of defense, a towering warlord genetically enhanced. For this final stand, the battle was brutal and relentless, with every member of the squad fighting with unmatched courage and skill. Aaron faced the warlord directly, their clash shaking the very foundations of the station. Despite the enemy's strength, Aaron's determination did not waver. With a swift, decisive move, he disabled the warlord's armor and forced his surrender. With the command station secured, the coalition's fleet fell into disarray. Human forces capitalized on the chaos, striking decisive blows that shattered the alien armada. From the command bridge, Captain Reyes watched as the alien ships began to retreat. They were broken. Humanity had won. Cheers echoed across Earth and in space as the news spread. Survivors embraced, tears mingling with laughter. The war had taken a heavy toll, but the human spirit endured. In the days that followed, peace talks began. The alien coalition, now leaderless and fractured, sought terms to end the conflict. Humanity's victory was not just about weapons or strength. It was about resilience, unity, and the refusal to surrender hope. Captain Maya Reyes addressed the world in a broadcast that would be remembered for generations. "We faced the impossible and chose to stand together. We fought not just with guns, but with our hearts and minds. This victory is ours, earned by every human who refused to give up." Lieutenant Aaron Patel, now hailed as a symbol of human courage, returned to his family and friends. The scars of war remained, but so did the promise of a brighter future. As Earth began to heal, its people looked to the stars with new dreams, dreams of exploration, understanding, and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. They had faced the galaxy's fiercest warriors and smiled through the fire, and in doing so, they had become something greater than anyone had imagined. They were humanity,